Hi, this is Beck and Kristen with the Scholarly Equestrian. And today we're going to talk about a little bit of a misunderstanding of a phrase that you can often hear in the horse industry, which is when people are talking about horses, and typically I will see it or hear it when they're selling a horse, is that the horse needs more wet saddle pads. And the problem with that is that while the person who is, again, they're often selling the horse, but when the person is saying it, generally they just mean that the horse needs work, it's green, it's young, it just, needs consistency. But what happens is a lot of times people think that it just means to run and run until your horse is sweaty and tired and exhausted, which is not exactly what it is.
No,
right?
Not at all. And I can tell you, it's really frustrating for me too, because when horses come from trainers like that, a lot of times we get them on the lunge line and they just go crazy. They just think that they're supposed to run forever and not think. And then we have to retrain that.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that it's not really great or helpful to just run a horse until they're tired is because if you consider the fact that everything that we do with the horse is building up their stamina and their strength. So if at the start you're running them for 20 minutes before you get on or before they're tired, whatever else, within a few days you're having to do 25 and then 30 minutes and then 40 and so on, to the point that you're running your horse for more than an hour or more and they still have energy because you're just conditioning the horse for stamina. Right?
Yeah, and the point really should be is to make them physically and mentally happy, right? And to do that, a horse needs to be mentally engaged when you're working them, as well as physically relaxed. So I feel like the term came in because people think like, oh, a kid in a playground, right? You take them out to run and then they feel physically drained, they get the endorphins, they relax. But you can't just rely on that because, like Beck was saying, they get fitter and fitter and fitter, right? So we do need to make both of those things happen. A horse that's mentally happy as well as physically happy. So we're going to talk about how we do that, right?
Yeah, mental stimulation, everything. There's a variety of options really that you can do, and it really depends on you and your horse, right? So some horses can do really well with a lot of changes of direction and just constantly slowing down, right? They want to go forward. You do a lot of halt transitions, walk to trot transitions, trot to walk, trot to halt, halt to trot, changing of directions, right? Because what you're doing there is you are essentially keeping the horse guessing what's going to happen next. So they have to be super focused and engaged on you with their mind. And in turn, they relax themselves and they calm down. And that mental engagement will tire, I don't want to say tire out really, but it will help reduce that anxiety, that energy on a horse much better and quicker really in the long run than just running a horse.
It helps relax them, right? Remember that their brain is tied to their body. So think about it like a person that has anxiety and isn't focused and very distracted. A lot of times they are physically tense as well, right? So we have to talk to the mind first, and then the mind talks to their body as well. So get them thinking, get them relaxed, get them focused on their job.
Yeah. And what's another thing that you like to do when you have a horse like that?
So for me, I really like to, like she said, get them engaged. I like to do a lot of bending as well. So I'll come in, I might on the ground bend the horse to the left, get them focused on me and not on their surroundings, right? So 2 eyes on me, right? Seeing if they can stay in the circle with me. Can they track me around? Can they go to the right? Can they go to the left? Can they disengage, right? There's a lot of lateral movements that you can do as well, too. You don't have to be on a big line, right? You can be in small spaces. And I know when the horse is really focused on me, that means that they're not worried about everything else around them, right? 2 eyes, 2 ears on me. And, of course, there's time for playtime and we're going to do some videos about that. Playtime is different. But when the horse comes into work and we're getting them prepared to work, focus, right? Suppling left, suppling right. And we'll also teach you guys how to be able to tell if the horse is suppling in their mind as well as their body too.
Yep.
So,
And then for those of you out there that are also instructors and everything, this is really good work that you can teach your students to do as well, because it's super important to be able to do that, especially if they have their own horse or want their own horse at some time in the future and they've not had horses before, it's been a long time, or even if they do or have had horses for a while, it's still something that they can learn and really understand how to engage the horse and understand that the way that their mind works, their body works, and how it all plays together.
yeah. So, thanks so much for joining us. Can't wait for you guys to follow us on this series, and please feel free to comment below. That was good. It was like 5 minutes.